YouTube, what is going on? The Sports is Life podcast is back. It's been about a month for me putting something out new. It's truly been the dog days of summer. Around this time, June, July, there's not a whole lot going on. There's no NBA, there's no college football on the field, that is, and there's no NFL. But once we start getting into August, training camp starts to open, college football starts to ramp up, and you know it's time. It's time to get back into it. But first, a quick PSA. I know, fellas, through winter, through spring, you've been working hard, working out so that you can get on the beach and have fun. But you need to make sure that you're drinking water, H2O, not whiskey, not vodka. You need to make sure that you're drinking water. Our bodies are 63% water. You need to make sure that you're hydrating properly. We don't need you falling out there. All right, now let's really get back into it. So, college football, everyone. That's been the major thing that's happened, not on the field, off the field. USC, the Trojans, and UCLA are going to the Big Ten. Say that with me. USC and UCLA is now Big Ten country. Wild. Now, the first thing that came to mind was money. The money is just rolling in for both USC and UCLA. Now, to be fair, I think that the Big Ten really wanted USC and Notre Dame, but they'll take USC and UCLA, make sure to lock up that LA market. That's all well and good, but again, money was the first thing that came to my mind. It justifies them going out using name, image, likeness to get any player that they want to get. And bravo to USC, UCLA, but what really comes to mind is I'm glad that the college kids are getting money. I'm glad these young athletes are getting money, because you see these colleges are getting money too. And I don't begrudge SC or UCLA or Texas or Oklahoma. I don't begrudge any college from jumping a conference to go to another conference for some more money. Just like I don't begrudge coaches from leaving one job to go to a better job. And I don't begrudge these college athletes either for making that money, securing the bag, transfer portal wide open, being able to transfer after 1 year, whatever they want to do. Everybody, this is the wild, wild west. Colleges are jumping conferences. Coaches have been leaving jobs for decades, and finally, the athletes are getting a piece of the pie. And I want them to grab as much dough as they can possibly earn, whatever they're worth, whatever a college is willing to throw your way, young men and ladies, grab it, take it. Now, hopefully you spend the money wisely, but that's neither here nor there. The issue is to make sure that you're getting what you're worth, because these colleges are making money off of you. You need to make sure that you're getting what you're worth. Who does USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten? I wouldn't say running, but they're going to be getting somewhere close to $100 million per year. So yeah, that's a lot of dollars. That's a lot of dollars. Who does it benefits? One, it benefits the schools itself, USC, UCLA. They're going to be raking in the money. I think it benefits college athletes, and I think it benefits the Big Ten Conference, because if it goes the way that it looks like it's going, where it's going to be 2 super conferences and maybe a third out there when this college football playoff expands, they're going to be one of the winners, bringing in a lot of dough with a big money TV contract. On the other end, on the other side of the scale, it's going to have to hurt someone. Who does it hurt? Right now, it's hurting the Pac-12. It's hurting them bad, because USC was the number one team. They were the team that was bringing in all the dollars. It doesn't matter if SC had been down for the last decade or 15 years or whatever. USC still brought in a lot of dough. UCLA, that LA market, still brought in a lot of dough, a lot of money, and the brands are worth something. in this new landscape where it's about media market and it's about brands, who's been good, who's not been good, USC and UCLA, the brands will stand the test of time. That's why when the Big Ten got word that they're willing to jump to them, that whole alliance thing with the ACC, the Pac-12, and the Big Ten, that all went out the window. They said, what? We can get USC, UCLA? They'll do that in a heartbeat and blow that whole thing up. So if it benefited USC, UCLA, the Big Ten, who does it hurt? It hurts the Pac-12. Some would say overall it hurts college football because tradition, the way things used to be, it's going by the wayside. Everyone's running towards that money. They're all running to the almighty dollar, which this is a capitalist nation, so it's all good in my book as long as it's fair across the board. Coaches, colleges, players, as long as it's fair across the board and everyone can get some of the $1 billion that are out there in TV contracts and name, image, likeness, I'm all for it. So who else does it hurt? In some respects, it hurts the Big 12 and the ACC as well, because those conferences have been put on notice. Get your house in order. It's going to be the SEC and the Big Ten, and probably one more conference. I think there is a little bit of room for one more conference to get in there. Doesn't look like it's going to be the Pac-12. So it's going to be ACC, Big 12. Get your house in order. Do what you need to do. Whether if it's expand, make sure that you're picking the right colleges. If you're going to expand, make sure you got your house in order, because you may only have one shot to get it right. Who else does it hurt? USC, UCLA leaving. More than likely hurts Oregon and Washington. They are beautiful brands, good brands, solid football programs, but in and of itself, they don't compare to a USC, UCLA. They just don't. They just don't. And Phil Knight, billionaire, 85 years old. Who knows what Oregon's gonna be 15, 20 years from now. Those brands by itself, they're not big enough at this moment for Big Ten to say, yeah, we'll take you. We'll take you in. They're good programs, don't get me wrong. They're solid programs. Excellent programs. I wouldn't even say solid. They are excellent programs. They are damn good. But as a brand itself, they don't equate to Texas, Oklahoma, USC, UCLA. They just don't equate to that. And so right now, they're kind of left out in the cold. Now, if they want to go to the Big 12, I'm sure that the Big 12 will take them. But I think they have their heart set on the Big 10. What's next? What's next is going down the road. Notre Dame is going to try to stay independent as much as possible. And they are the key. As long as Notre Dame stays independent, college football will probably stay the way it is right now. But if Notre Dame decides to join a conference, this whole thing is probably going to get blown up. It's going to be the SEC, Big 10, college football expands to 16, probably be 6-7 teams from the SEC and Big 10 in the college football playoffs each year, and then a smattering of other teams, however they work that out. So right now, Notre Dame is the linchpin. I know that it's crazy to think that Notre Dame is the last line of defense for anyone that's a traditionalist, anyone that likes the history, the tradition of college football. Notre Dame is the last line of defense before everything totally changes and they go to an NFL model. It's not college football anymore. It's professional college football. Some would say that's the way that it's always been, and then now it's just coming to light. For me, personally, I'm just glad that the players are finally getting some money, because for years and years and years, these conferences, these college programs have been making billions of dollars via TV money, billions of dollars, and the athletes were not getting anything. Now they got their hand in the pot too. So I think it's a fair across the board. Players get to transfer when they want to transfer. Coaches get to jump programs whenever they want to jump programs. Colleges are jumping conferences whenever they want to jump conferences, as long as they pay that grant of rights. I think it's a much fairer system right now. I don't know if it's better, but it's a much fairer system, and for me, that's what I care about. So that's the big news. Again, been out a month. College football has been really the only thing that's popping. There's baseball out there too, but for me, baseball doesn't really get hot until September. So no post from me about baseball yet, but training camp just got fired up. College football is coming. I'm a football guy. I'm an NBA guy. Drop me a line, drop me a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, y'all. Take care, YouTube. I'm out.